Hey, what's going on, everybody? First and foremost, I want to thank you for tuning in. What I'm going to be doing right here is I'm going to be doing a series of breakdowns of my book, okay? And my book is called No Excuses. And you can find that on Amazon. You can order the paperback, $17.99 right now for its launch. And you can order the audio for $8.99. And so I'd encourage you to go out there and get the book. It's a self-help book. It's all of the experiences that I've had playing football at the Ohio State University, being exposed to some of the most amazing things and the most amazing people, running my business, the trials and the tribulations, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows of my life, and how I process things and make decisions. And people ask me about how did I come to the decisions that I've made to achieve the things that I've achieved or overcome the things that I've overcome. And so I know that it starts with us looking inside of ourselves, but a lot of times we hear looking inside of ourselves, but we don't know the process of how to look inside of ourselves. And that's what this book is about. So what I'm going to do, without further ado, this is the first video and more videos to come. So I'd like you to subscribe, hit the notification button so when I drop it, you'll get it. Like this video and share this video. And I'd encourage you to go out and get the book. The link will be in the caption below this video. And so you can go and get that book and order it and enjoy your read. And it'll be something that you won't read once. You'll keep reading it. You'll come back to reading it. There'll be segments that you might highlight off or mark off that you go back to. But you'll see that it'll help you with those decisions, because everything I try to do, I try to make it in a way that's duplicatable, because people will want to know what works for people. And a lot of times people have organized chaos. It works for them, it works for nobody else. And I wanted to create something that worked for me and worked for generally anybody. So without further ado, I'm going to read you an excerpt from my book, and I'm going to expand on it. I'm going to talk about it. And without further ado, this quote, it says, "Your vision completion takes a certain amount of time too. The Most High not only gave each and every one of us time to start and complete the assignment, but the Most High wants you and I to complete it as soon as possible so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labors for as long as possible." Everyone talks about how time is precious. And indeed, time is precious. But your time and my time isn't going to be the same. Some of us, we have time that we feel is cut short when we see others die at a certain age or something of that nature. But it's already predetermined. It's already predetermined. That's why you can't worry about what's going to take you out, because it can be, I remember Redman said in this song, he said, "It's 6 million ways to die." But I mean, only one thing's going to make you die. And when you recognize and you can compartmentalize that energy wasn't created, it always existed. And when you recognize that what's inside of you, that make the difference between you and a dead man is the energy that is moving inside of you. Once that energy stops moving inside of you, your body is no more. And if you can just keep that in mind and understand that, then you understand that death is not for the energy. Death is for the body. And we have to remember that we are spiritual beings having a humanistic experience, not human beings having a spiritualistic experience. That's the trick of the enemy right there, to make you think that your existence in your life is of this physical realm, and it is not. When you can really wrap your mind around that, that should help you with your fear of something happening to you or how you get taken out. Then you can just go forward and live. See, it's already, like I said, predetermined how you're going to pass from this body. And if you just focus and concentrate on getting on schedule and getting on time in your life, you won't worry about anything except the assignment that you have to do, which the Most High is giving you the tools and equipment to do the things that you need to do. And no one's going to really understand your plight. No one's going to understand your purpose like you do. It's not going to make sense to anybody else. And a lot of times, if you share your vision with other people, you're not going to get the response that you think you're going to get because they, quote unquote, love you. Love can be misunderstood too. See, I always say hate is a form of love that's not understood how to process. Because do you hate anything that you care about? No, you don't hate anything that you care about. You have to care about something to so-called hate on something. There's no way that you can have zero cares about something and hate it. It just doesn't pertain to you. It just doesn't. So when you're giving or receiving hate, it is just it's just the love misunderstood. Even if we want to talk about the quote unquote devil, right? When we say, he's jealous that he got knocked out of his position of being number two, well, yeah, that's because he cared about that position. He cared about that position. He got knocked out of that position, and the hate that he spews is his not being able to process the love the way that he should, the way that he could. Your vision is the most important thing on this earth because it's the vision that the Most High gave you. You are a fraction of the Most High. You are the expression of the Most High. You went through a whole lot of stuff to get here. And because you're here, you have a specific niche vision for your life. And you must fight, claw, scratch, dig, and itch to find out what that is. The only way you're going to find out what that is you're going to have to do the unthinkable, which is to look inside of yourself. And as I said it before, my book helps you with with some of the processes of how to look inside of yourself, because it sounds deep. Look deep inside of yourself, and there lies the answer. Well, it's true, and it sounds deep, and it is good, but if you don't know how to do it, you'll never look inside of yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, you'll always be unattracted to do it. You'll always be unattracted to do it. It won't sound like something you want to do. And surface level, you will be grossed out by looking inside of yourself, because looking at yourself requires you to see the dirt about yourself. And just like a flower that needs to grow, you do realize that it needs dirt to grow. There lies the nutrients. There lies the minerals that a flower needs to grow. And certain environments won't allow certain things to grow, and certain environments will allow things to grow. So you got to look inside and see what kind of dirt you have. Because if you got the kind of, for an example, if you live in New York, and you go inside of yourself and you look at that dirt and what you're trying to grow is tropical, then you need to go somewhere tropical. Location is location importance. You have to find out with a finite scope of magnification glass. You need to look inside and look deep and understand the nuances and the intricacies of yourself so you can find out where you need to be planted. Because if you find out where you need to be planted, that's half the battle. When you find that out, then you can find out where you need to go and what you need during the process, because the process is going to take time. But understand, wherever you need to go and whatever you need to do, you need to be supplanted, and it's gonna require dirt, and dirt is not something that tastes good. If you were a kid and you put dirt in your mouth for the first time, you discovered that it didn't taste good. But it's a requirement that you must have dirt thrown on you in order to be able to grow. Some of you are getting dirt thrown on you, but you're not in the right location. Some of you, let's say you're supposed to grow mangoes. Some of you are getting dirt in New York, and I'm not knocking New York, and I'm not big upping a tropical environment. I'm just using this as an example. You can't grow mangoes in New York like you can grow mangoes in Florida or the Virgin Islands. But if you never take a look at yourself, you'll never know what kind of dirt you're dealing with. You'll never know what kind of nutrients you need. So that vision it's important for you to discover that. So in a normal healthy process, you have your parents. They bring you into this world. They give you the tools that you need. 23 chromosomes comes from mom and 23 from dad. And the togetherness of them being together and raising you, it helps you understand who you are totally. When you grow up in a one-parent household, like a mom household, the disadvantage of that is mothers are not designed to raise children. They're designed to maintain children. Well, you say, well, what does that mean? Well, children need certain things to grow, and mothers provide those things to grow. Okay? What do I mean? When a baby is born, she's the one that has the breast milk, and that breast milk is vital for them. I'll go back even further. She's the one that has the placenta. The placenta is something that's not supposed to be cut. It's supposed to fall off naturally. But I'm not going to get into that part. But in those early stages, that mother is absolutely positively critical and crucial. I like to generalize it, even though there's no silver bullet. Think of it as if it takes 18 to become an adult in America, then you would say the first 9 years, the mother and what she brings in to the table is more vital to the child than what the father does. It doesn't diminish the father. It doesn't mean the father's not important, but the father is out there in the world doing the things that needs to be done to provide and to protect, right? The mother is the one that's home with the child in a nuclear sense, and she's giving the child what that child needs to be able to thrive and grow. Now, why did I say the first 9 years the mother's important? Well, what happens after that? Clearly, the father's role becomes more important. So, in an ideal situation, that father, the first 9 years of his first child's life, is, if not already, establishing himself and establishing systems that create and generate wealth. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? If you go out there and you have a job as a man, that's fine. But if that's the end all be all, you're going to have some deficiencies later on down the line. So the job is a means of getting capital to be able to utilize for whatever you need to utilize, but investing is important. So what does that mean? So and I'm a financial advisor. So let's just say if that father creates assets under management or uses life insurance and cash value, not going to go too deep into that. That's for another day, another time. But let's just say he does that and he put proprietary systems in there so that it generates and creates a snowball effect with money. Then he's less likely going to be needed to go out there physically to provide because he put together systems that provides for him. And that's called working smart. Now, when that child is of age where dad needs to be more hands-on, dad has the availability without having to sacrifice the time to dedicate to going out there and making money. And this information wasn't available to us a lot for people like me. This information wasn't available to a lot of us that don't come from wealth. So we have to figure it out. But now we live in an information age where if we don't know something, it's because we don't want to know. The information is clearly available to us. All we have to do is just uh, read, understand, or hear and understand and apply. Because a lot of the information, if you don't want to read it, a lot of the information is available for audio or video. So it's no excuse for anybody now to be able to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. Now, once that child is after 9 years old, it's important for that child to understand, or that child to be able to be shaped into what that child needs to be, boy or girl, for the role that's going to best suit them when they get out there in the world. If a child is getting all of this, then they're going to be right on path to discovering what their vision is, if not knowing what their vision is before they're grown and then going on their own. I liken this to um, going to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a field where you can give back to your community, versus going to school to name a particular degree that when you graduate, you are going to be hard pressed to find out how you can utilize that degree. I'm not going to point out and highlight one degree over another, but we know that in certain cultures, they major in certain things because it is about the community and it's about being able to utilize it as a trade to be able to get what they want. See, universities have discovered long time ago that they would posture themselves as trades and people would spend money to learn those trades. But in a lot of cultures, and some of the most successful people either didn't go to college or didn't finish college. They learned a particular skill set that allowed them to apply it right away to be able to reap harvest. And so again, like I said, um, a lot of our children go to college and they don't know what they want to major in. I'm going to college. What are you going to major in? I don't know. I have some time. Right now, I'm taking my general electives. That's typically like the first 2 years. When I was going to school, it was like the first 2 years of taking classes that you had to take before you got in your major. And a lot of times when you get in your major, it's only a handful of classes that you need to complete to get your degree. And it makes you question, why did I have to take all of these electives? Well, because the university said you had to. Yeah, but it costs a lot of money. Yeah, well, the university is making a lot of money off of kids going to college. And most of the money that they're making is money off of their general requirements. Well, that sounds real scammy. Well, that's the system that we've had for a long time. So take it or leave it if that's the path you're going to take. But if you're going to take that path, shouldn't you know quick as possible what you want to do with your life? Because a lot of times people go to school and they graduate and they can't find jobs. They're still trying to find themselves, or they get into a position or a field that didn't require them to have a degree, or they're working next to somebody that didn't have to go through the 4 years that they had to go through to get there. So it's very, very important for you to understand what that purpose is. When you come up in a single parent home, the disadvantage of it is there is an overcompensation for involved parent while not being able to be there because they're having to go out and they're having to provide. When your mother is going out there and having to work 8 hour or more a day jobs, well, the problem with that is that's 8 hours that she's not with you. And when she's not with you, that leaves for who to raise you. And a lot of times in impoverished neighborhoods, that means the streets will raise you. And so the streets may teach you how to survive, or the streets may destroy you. It's a Russian roulette with the streets. But with the parent, what that's a single parent, what else can she do? She's doing the best that she can. This is why we have the outcomes that we have of the men that we have today. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of the men today, majority of the men today, especially the ones that grew up in single mother homes, it's more missed than it is hit. There are some amazing situations where boys grow up in a single parent home by their mother and they turn out to be outstanding. But even turning out to be outstanding, there are some deficiencies and some things that if a father was there, they'd be able to have. So I know that you and I can't do anything as children when we were coming up to make our fathers and mothers stay together, but we have to work with what we're dealt with. And if you're an adult and you have grown up by a mother only, it is still incumbent of you to figure out this whole thing. But that vision is the only thing that matters the most. And that vision of your life is the only thing that's going to give you peace. A lot of people go out there and try to pursue happiness. And I'm going to be honest, it's the wrong thing to pursue. You'll never, I want you to think of happiness as a wet soap bar. You ever held a wet soap bar? It's really hard to contain. And if you squeeze it too hard, it'll fall, it'll just pop right out of your hands. If you don't hold it hard enough, it'll slide right out. And so you always got to constantly, with happiness, you always, always, always have to try to maintain the perfect pressure. But if you are sitting there and trying to pursue happiness, there are going to be things that take your focus off in your life on the the pressure of the force that it takes to contain happiness. It could be a bad phone call that you learned about somebody passing away. It could be an opportunity that slipped away. It could be something that happened to your family member. It could be a litany of things. Do you think that you're going to be more focused on the perfect grip on happiness when those things happen? No, your focus is going to start to change because you're thinking about the thing that you care about outside of just holding this bar of soap, this happiness. So I wouldn't recommend chasing happiness. What I would recommend is, I'm not saying that you should never be happy, but happiness comes and goes. When happy times come, you appreciate it, stay focused, but appreciate it. And when happy times go, stay focused and keep grinding. What you should be pursuing is your vision, because if you are walking in your vision and you're on schedule and you're on time with your vision, then not only everything that you desire and need will come to you, the law of attraction, but more importantly, you will stay and remain in perfect peace. A peace that you can't get yourself. You ever seen somebody in perfect peace, what that looks like? Things that should rattle them, they're not even moved by, because they know that there is a past that they can count on victories for, and there is a future that allows them to say to themselves, this is going to work out because I'm going to do my part, and I know the Most High is going to do his part. Sometimes you're just going through a season where it's rough. Remember, I told you, when you're planting a seed, you need dirt. And nobody wants dirt thrown in their face. But it might be the season where you're having dirt thrown in your face because it's preparing you for a place that you're going to get to that you're not ready for right now. So keep your eye on that vision and make it plain, write it out, and work your way from the end to the beginning. That means if you know where it is that you are destined, that you want to be, destiny, then you trace your steps back from Z to A. Why do you do this? Because it allows you to pre-make mistakes. That means you can see the mistakes, as many of them as possible, so you know what to do when you start from step A. When you start from step A and you're going to B, C, D, and going on, you've already seen the mistakes in your preview. And so you say, okay, so this pitfall is going to be right here. So I got to be ready for that. So I'm going to make a note of that. And then I'm going to do this when I get there. Does that mean you will be 100% from the field and you won't make any mistakes? No. but you'll get closer and closer to perfection of doing this the more you do it. You're gonna make mistakes. You can't be afraid of mistakes. I liken I liken football. Okay, let's say a running back averages 4 yards a carry, and he averages 25 yards a game. Okay, 4 yards doesn't sound like a lot. Said Hut, your offensive line gets a good jump on the ball. They hit the defensive lineman. They open up a few holes for you. You run through those holes, and there's a linebacker waiting for you in the hole, and that linebacker hits you. Boom. You still picked up 4 yards. So now it goes from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 6. So now the defense doesn't know if you're going to run or pass. So they have to be prepared for both. If they were prepared for the run 100% and you ran the ball, you're less likely to get yards. In fact, they may hit you in the backfield. But if the defense doesn't know for sure if you're going to run or if you're going to pass, they have to disperse certain individuals to take certain responsibility. Hey, look, you take this responsibility in case they pass. You take this responsibility in case they pass. And now you guys take these responsibilities in case they run. There's less men focused on the run. So there's less obstacles that you have to get through as a running back. So you never know if you're averaging 25 carries a game. If you're going to get in that situation, you may pick up more than 4 yards. You may pick up 10 yards. You may pick up 20 yards. I've seen running backs bust it open for 80 yards, 90 yards. So these things can happen. And what is that going to do for you as a running back at the end of the game? If you're only averaging 4 yards a carry, it's going to give you 100 yards. Now they have 17 games, I believe, now in a season. So that's 1,700 yards. If you play 10 seasons and you averaged 1,700 yards a season, that's 17,000 yards for your career. 17,000 yards is going to put you in the Hall of Fame. And what's so impressive about that? You're only getting 4 yards, but you keep falling forward. See, some of you are scared to fail, but you're going to fall. There's not going to be a game or a day in your life where you're going to go out there and you're going to let me take that back. How likely is it for you to go out there and everything you do is perfect? There could be days like that, but that's a possibility and not a probability. The probability is that you're going to have failures. And some of you are so worried about what people think when you fail. Some people are so embarrassed to fall in front of other people. But most of the time, the people that are laughing the loudest are the ones that are too scared to get off the sideline and get in a game and run the ball. So let people laugh at you. Let people make fun of you. In fact, if you know people are going to make fun of you, be the first to do it. You take the sting out of it. I remember when I was in school, people would try to make fun of me just like anybody else. But when I used to laugh with them, it took the sting out of it. It made it less attractive for the person who was trying to laugh at me and make fun of me, because I could make fun of myself. They'd be like, Lee, look at your big nose, or whatever the case, especially after I played, got out of football camp. My nose was real big. Oh, Lee, look at your big nose. Oh, Lee, look at your no neck. Oh, I laugh at that because it's kind of funny. If I was sitting on the other side of the fence and somebody was saying those things or whatever the case may be, I could see myself chuckling. And so you got to be able to have an ability to not take things so serious. The only thing you need to take so serious is your vision. Your vision is going to take you exactly where you want to go. It's going to provide you the ultra peace. Remember that, ultra peace. That's what you're seeking for. You're not looking for just peace. You're looking for ultra peace. That's top tier peace. That's 5-star peace. That's unequivocal, irrevocable peace that no man can take from you. If you get certain types of peace, that can be taken from you. You're looking for ultra peace. And the ultra peaceful place is being on schedule and on time for your vision. For your vision. You got to remember that. Okay? Then and why is it important for you to capture your vision? See, you have some people, they figure out their purpose in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s. That's great. But how long are you going to be living? So when you figure out your purpose and you walk in your purpose and you start to get those fruits of your purpose, the things, the desires of your heart, when you keep your mind on your vision, and that gives you that ultra perfect peace, that means that all things that you desire and all the things that you want that you would normally chase, because you're operating in the right magnetic charge, it will be attractive to you. See, opposites attract. See, negative charge attracts positive charge. But negative and positive, respectively, they work against each other. They push against each other. When you're operating in your wrong, when you're operating in a positive charge, that's not the way you're supposed to do. The positive charge is the way of the world. The negative charge is the way of the spirit. And so you say, well, the spirit isn't negative. No, what I'm saying is the way the world is, the spirit is not. So if you are moving in the spirit, then you are operating on a charge that's negative to the earth. But the things that are positive on the earth, the materialistic things, the great fortunes, the prosperity and stuff like that. Those are the positive things of the earth, that if you're operating in positivity of the earth, those things are going to be not drawn to you, but those things are going to put you on a wild goose chase. Flow with me. So now when you're operating in the spirit, you're not operating in the flesh. You're creating a negative charge in the flesh, and then you make everything that's good about the earth, whether it be albeit it's temporal, those things start to chase you. That's why there is a old adage that says, all things added unto you, good measures, pressed down, shaken together, running over, men given unto your bosom. It will be unexplainable why things are happening for you. People will start wanting to work with you. You ever notice that there are people who are not successful? They can't get the people that love them to help them. But as soon as they start achieving success, those same people that wouldn't help them, they want to come around and say, what can I do to help? How can I be a part of this? You can't. You can't unless I draw you to me. And I don't have a desire to do anything but operate in the spirit. That's a principle that you gotta know about your vision. When you are on schedule and on time with what you're supposed to do, everything you need and when you need it will be brought into you. A lot of you feel like you have to go out there. I'm a man. I got to go out there and hunt for women, to find my wife. No, you don't. You have to hunt for your vision and find your vision. Because if you find your vision, the Most High will lay on your path your wife when it's time. See, a lot of you don't want to go out there and get your lives together. And I tell young men, and this is from experience of failure, if you, when I was younger, I used to chase certain girls. I used to chase the prettiest girls, but they never landed me anywhere. It never landed me, which was a lasting relationship. It was when I wasn't trying to look, it wasn't when I was trying to find a girl, that a girl came to me. And that's my present day wife. I've been married and been with my wife 20 years. And I sit back and I think about the characteristics of her that I enjoy so much that I wasn't even thinking to ask. Why is that? Because we don't know everything. We only know in part. That's why we need to laser lock in on our vision, because the Most High knows the vision that He has for our lives. He knows what our desires are. He knows the numbers of hairs on our head. And it doesn't matter to me what you believe in, whether you're of this faith, that faith, or you're on a spiritual journey, you're not religious at all, you're super religious, whatever the case may be. There is a higher power. And the higher power knows everything about you and knows everything about what you need and desire. But the Most High isn't as concerned with your desires as the Most High is concerned about the assignment laid for your life. See, a lot of you get in your feelings and say, but what about what I want? Well, if, and I'll use the Bible as an example, okay? Um, the Bible says, how can you love me and you don't keep my commands? Think about that, fellas. If you have a wife who doesn't do what you need her to do, you don't feel loved. You see, respect is love for the Most High. Respect is love for a man from his wife. And respect is love for a mother from her children. Do you see how that chain going up is about respect? You show love in the upward direction by giving the respect. And to give the respect is to be obedient, to be compliant in any situation. Think of the military, okay? The best soldiers are the soldiers that comply. An even better an even better soldier is a soldier who is in tune, and before the orders given, the soldier is on it. See, because there's a difference between blessings and favor. Everybody gets blessings. Good people and bad people gets blessings. Blessings isn't anything to brag about, albeit blessings are extraordinary. But what is going to separate the one that is blessed from the one that is blessed is the favor. The obedient one is going to get the favor, unmerited favor, unexplainable favor, favor that doesn't even make sense. How did I land this contract? How did I get to meet you and you changed my life? How did I get to go here? How did I get to experience this? How did I get to experience that? It's favor. Don't get it confused with blessings, because blessings anybody get. The fool gets blessings just like the wise get blessings. And blessings don't make you special. Blessings only just mean you're part of the clique. You're part of the children. You're part of the chosen. You're part of the selected. But favor, it's no different than you having 4 children and one of them is extremely obedient, and you have one of those 4 children that's extremely disobedient. You're going to provide food, water, and shelter for all 4 of those children regardless. But are you going to go the extra mile for that disobedient child? No, you're going to keep it very basic for that child. Well, see, it just so happens to turn out that with the Most High, his basic, since his thoughts and his ways are higher than our thoughts and our ways, him giving us something very basic to him is like super extraordinary to the eyes of man. And that's how we get blessings confused. Oh my gosh, he gave me a house. Oh my gosh, he gave me this nice car. No, he can do that to anybody. Drug dealers get nice cars. Drug dealers live in nice houses, right? Didn't Pablo Escobar make a whole lot of money? Was he doing righteous things? No. But anything of this earth is basic to the Most High, because the Spirit is above that. When you get favor, that favor is like, it doesn't make sense. See, when you get a nice house, a nice car, you can make sense of it. You can say, okay, well, I did my part. I worked hard. I built my credit. I made the money, and so I put myself in a position, and I got this blessing. See, that is a great way to apply blessings. The math of earth and the math of heaven aligns. It's like what's bound on earth is bound in heaven, and what's loose on earth is loose in heaven. You understand? And then all you have to do is ask for those things, and those things get done as long as you're in compliance. But favor, it is not you doing anything but being obedient. It's not doing anything but being on your vision. It's not anything but being on your assignment and being diligent about it. Then stuff starts. Then all heaven breaks loose in your life. I never thought that I would be. I never thought that when I walked down the street, I would people would cry because I did something for their lives. All I was doing was my assignment. I remember talking to this guy. He had a vision. It was a great vision. It was a vision about helping people. And if that vision was implemented, all of the people that would have gotten help, to him, he would have just been doing his assignment. But to them, it would be like, oh my gosh. See, Michael Jackson, he sung songs, right? But when Michael Jackson showed up to concerts and out in public, why were the people crying? Why were the people wanting to touch him? Because you become more God-like the more you are diligent towards your vision and assignment. And that's not the point, because we're all gods. We're micro gods. We're fractions of God. See, we make up the body of the Most High. When we do our assignment, we shine amongst the men. We can't help it. And everybody likes something shiny. But that kind of shine comes with protection. So many of us, we want to shine for other people, but we become targets. Case in point, somebody in a bad neighborhood, running around with jewelry, acting flossy and flashy, they become targets for the people that haven't figured out how to get that, and they could lose their lives for that. But when the Most High gives you a touch of the shine to give you the favor, there's an ultimate hedge of protection around you that not only people can't penetrate, people are scared to attempt to. So is that what you want for your life? You got to ask yourself the question. When we talk about obedience, when we talk about compliance, that's really your only thing from making the only enemy to you is disobedience. When you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you can call it the devil or whatever you want, but you can go back and you can look and you can debunk some things about that. But I'm going to tell you, the enemy is really the inner me. Let me say that again. The enemy is the inner me. You're your own worst enemy. What you do will make ally or enemy unto yourself. It's the accountability for me, because this is what this book is about. It's about accountability. If you can stop pointing the fingers at everything that's happening wrong in your life and take accountability, there are plenty of things in my life that have gone wrong on many different levels. And I'm responsible for it, because what's inside of me is going to manifest outside of me in my life. I'm responsible for what I do with the thoughts that come to my head, voluntarily or involuntarily. If I have a bad thought come to my head, it is my responsibility to get it out of my head. If I have a good thought that come to my head, it's my responsibility to cultivate it, to manifest it so it will be. See, here's the thing about a bad thought unchecked. It's going to continue to work inside of you, and it's going to manifest into your surroundings. It does that automatically. But a good thought doesn't work like that. A good thought left unchecked, it'll go away. Why doesn't the good thought usher itself inside of you and manifest and put itself around you? Because it's not natural for good thoughts. Remember, we are born and shaped in sin and iniquity. You think that all little children are so cute. No, parents hone children to be good people. Because left unchecked, they'll go out there and be bad people. This is why you see so many bad people today, because these children are unchecked. This is why single parents This is especially single mothers, because single mothers maintain single fathers. That's why the statistics work, that are similar with single fathers as it is with two-parent households, because fathers have what it takes to raise and mold children, not women. That's not their role. It's not their assignment. Their role is to maintain children and nurture them, and that's not shaping them and raising them. That's just giving them the essentials they need to survive. So it's not that the head, the man, and the backbone, the woman, is more important than the other, because the head without the backbone can't send out signals for the body to do anything. It will be useless. It's paralyzed. A a backbone without a head is just a limp body, awaiting assignment. So the backbone is dependent on, and if you look at the brain by itself, the brain is connected all the way down to the peripheral nervous system and the spinal cord that is to be attached to the back. Y'all remember Ninja Turtles and you remember Crane? He used to be that little brain that sat in the midsection of that big machine. It was him that was making, even though it was fictional, it was the brain making the body move. It just so happened to be in his gut, which your gut is your second brain, but that's another day, another topic. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that being accountable for your actions is the only thing that's going to help you turn things around in your life. I know that there are excusable excuses and inexcusable excuses. I talk about that in my book too. But you don't want a part of either of them. You want to try to give yourself 100% of the blame for everything that's going on in your life. If you take 100% of the blame of everything that's going on in your life, you'll win. You'll start winning. I remember my coach in college, Coach Tressel. When we would lose, he would fall on the sword for the team. And at that particular juncture in my life, I couldn't understand. I said, clearly, it wasn't his fault. He prepared us. Why is he taking the blame? And the reason was because he was a leader. My coach is what is he now? Lieutenant. Yes, my coach he's been the coach of Ohio State. He's been the president of Akron University. And now he's the lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio, current day 2025. You think he just got there because, and I don't think it was knowing him, it wasn't a bone in his body saying he wanted to get into politics, or a bone in his body to say he wanted to be a lieutenant governor. That's called favor. I know Coach Tressel because he operates a certain way. This is why favorable things happen to him. You want extraordinary things that can't be explained to happen to you, you gotta be obedient. You gotta be in your vision. You gotta be in your bag doing your thing. You can't be chasing money. Money's supposed to be chasing you. Now, the reason that some people are able to catch money moving in the flesh is because it's so much money around. But if you want to attract oobs and gobs of money, you can't focus on money. You have to focus on your assignment. Because really, at the end of the day, it doesn't cost a lot to live a good life. It doesn't. That extra abundance is for you to be a channel for others. Because your main purpose on this earth is to minister to the people that you're supposed to minister. I'm not talking on a religious stuff. I'm talking about minister means sow into other people in some capacity to make their life better. And if you're truly doing it by the Spirit, you're not doing it in a way to draw attention to yourself. I see that all the time. People are doing things because they want other people to see them so they can. No, what you're trying to do is you're trying to personally manifest favor over you, and you can't manifest the favor of the Most High on you. The favor of the Most High has to come upon you, and it only can come upon you with your obedience. And remember, I told you, obedience is the only thing that's standing between things going wrong in your life in totality And I'm not saying when you're obedient, things aren't going to go wrong in your life. You're just going to have the bandwidth to be able to deal with what goes wrong in your life if you do what you're supposed to do. But when you don't do what you're supposed to do, there's all kinds of things that'll go wrong in your life, and you won't be equipped to deal with it, and it could take you out of here. So I know what I'm saying to you is resonating with you. I know because you're still here. And you still here because you know that you need to do this. And if you're a man or a woman, you need to take accountability for your life and every aspect. You need to make a decision today to say everything that's wrong in my life right now is because I did it. I don't care if you didn't do it. You just have to have that supreme level of accountability. Everything that's wrong in your life, everything that you don't like seeing in your life is because of you. If it comes into your head, oh, well, this went wrong because she, stop yourself. Oh, this went wrong because of he, stop yourself. Don't even allow it to come out of your mouth. Sideways, front ways, back ways. Don't allow it to come out of you. Because I see people do that. They will do a backhand accountability thing. Yeah, I was married to this girl and, she treated me bad, this, that, and the other. But you know what? I forgive her, this, that, and the other. Don't do that. Because that's backhanded accountability. Why don't you do this? All of the things that happen in our relationship is ultimately my fault because I allowed it to happen in my relationship. And I'm not going to go into specifics about what happened in that relationship, but I know I had the choice to tolerate it, to not tolerate it, and I chose to tolerate it, and that is the reason that it's my fault. Now, what can I do better to make sure that that doesn't happen again? Taking full accountability. And listen, there are some people that are not designed to take accountability. And the reason they're not designed to take accountability is because they were born and shaped in sin and iniquity. You have to be coached into accountability. And if your father wasn't there to help you do that, then you need to learn it on your own. Because your parents are only responsible for how you start, but your responsibility is how you finish. I'm going to keep drilling this and driving this home, guys. The quicker you get to your vision and your assignment, the quicker you're going to get to the fruits and the harvest of your labor. And the quicker you get to the fruits and the harvest of your labor, the more time you're going to have to be able to enjoy it. Do you want to get to do you want to get all the way to the gate of your destination and not be able to go in? No. If you could have went on vacation for 3 weeks, but you were lazy and you got to the time that you had off to go on your vacation for 1 week, you'll still enjoy it. But you only had 1 week to enjoy it. I'm going to tell you right now, you'd be more revived from a 3 week than you would a 1 week. Now, the Most High has in store for you many different prizes, many different gifts, many different things for you. And he's not going to lay them right at your feet. What you talking about? You got to earn. Because the only way you can show you love is to be obedient, right? So they're going to be dropped off at a certain place on your path, but it's up to you to get to them. Now, if you're lollygagging and not doing what you're supposed to do, and the very thing that you seek and desire, you want a week from now, or you should get a week from now, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you may get there 3 weeks from now. Did you get there? Yeah, you did, but you weren't on time. And what happens if what was dropped on your path ain't no more good when it's dropped on your path? Avocados, apples, oranges, bananas can be fresh, but they can also go bad if they just sit. And so the Most High has something in store for your life. He has something in store for your life. But because it comes in an earth form, please know and understand it may have an expiration date. And you're not going to be able to enjoy something that has gone bad versus when it's fresh. You want to be so on schedule and so on time that the gifts that he gives you, the unexplainable, unmerited favor that he gives you, you want it to drop at your feet. That is an indication that you're on schedule. Because if it falls to you right there, that means you're on schedule. If it falls to you down the road, you're on path, but you're behind. And you need to meditate, and you need to ask the Most High what you need to do to make up time, get on schedule. Because it's great if you're in your vision, but if you're not on schedule, that's the other part that you need to be on schedule. Stay on schedule. Stay on schedule. Some of you are out there trying to make the big play and you get off schedule. It's first down and you're going deep. Then it's second down and you're throwing the ball. Now it's 3rd and 10. You're way off schedule. The defense knows the only thing that you can do is throw the ball. They only have to look for a couple of things in the run game. He might throw a screen to see if he can get the first down, but he's probably posturing himself to kick and punt the ball. Or that person is going to run a delayed draw play, and we're just going to keep our eyes peeled for that. You understand? So again, you trying to catch the enemy off when you're behind schedule is a lot harder than catching the enemy off when you're on schedule or ahead of schedule. And I'm not even, and the Most High isn't even asking you to be ahead of schedule. The Most High is just asking you to be on schedule. And what he shows you, hey man, just be on schedule. You over there, listen, I laid out a purpose for your life. Now I'm talking to somebody right now. I laid out a huge purpose for your life to do this over here to help millions and millions of people. And you over there messing with something that only helps dozens of people. And your claim is, yeah, but I'm passionate about it. Yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, I love doing that. That's great. But I don't care about what you want to do. I care about what I have assigned for you to do, because I'm using you to get the glory from you so that I can impact, and I'm trying to do that through you, and you're not doing that. I don't know if the Most High is capable of being frustrated, but if he is capable, well, yeah, he is capable of being frustrated. What am I saying? That has to frustrate the Most High when he has a path laid out for your life and you're not doing it. That has to make him upset. That has to make him say, forget this person. I'm going to get somebody else to do it. And then when he decides he's going to get somebody else to do what he assigned you to do, you can't now you are purposeless. You can have, just like that smaller desire that you had, he'll leave you to that. But you're not going to find the ultra peace in that. You'll still have an indeficiency. Is that a word? I'm so sorry. It is late. Deficiency does good enough right there. Please forgive me. So the deficiency that you'll have in doing a sub-purpose is going to always be there. You can't get to the subsidiaries of your vision until you do your vision. Your vision is only going to be the thing that's going to help you have joy and ultra peace. Without that, you suck. You're screwed. You will be empty. You will feel a sense of emptiness. All right. Hey guys, that's my time right now. I wanted to spend an hour with you. Please like and share this video. Follow me. Subscribe. Hit the notifications so you can be notified when I'm dropping this video. I'm going to drop a series of this. I'm going to go down and I'm going to find quotes in my book and I'm going to expound on those things. I hope you get the book. The link is going to be in just below this video for you to go onto Amazon, and you can purchase your paper copy, your paperback copy. Right now, um, uh, I want you to get in on it. I want to create a wave. I want to change the way we are thinking, and I want us to get the results that we deserve to get. But the only way we're going to do that is we have to make no excuses. So please make sure that you share this with someone, because you never know what people need. But if you love someone and you care for someone, just tell them, hey, look, check this video out and subscribe to this channel as well. We want to get this channel up to 100,000 in the next 6 months, and I need your help to do so. So make sure that if you're watching this video, again, you like, you subscribe, you leave a comment, and you also share this video, and then make sure you get the book with this link, because we're going to do some other amazing things with that, and I want you guys to be a part of my journey. We're a family, and I thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for taking the time out. Please take care.